Good morning, Mayor and Council. The proposed fee adjustments include going from daily boarding from $10 to $15, first impoundment from $30 to $50, second impoundment to $50 to $75, and then adding the third for $150. The species appropriate vaccinations will each go to from $10 to $15. The projected revenue will increase $24,510 to the general revenue fund, and staff recommends approval of the animal care services fee adjustments.
We are in year 4 of 5, so we are proposing to raise short-term and the covered parking from $13 an hour to $15 an hour. This schedule was developed in the budget process of 2023, and we had not had a rate increase since 2019. In your packet, you also have some information on comparable airports. So we looked at airports to the south of us and to the north of us. Our rates do align very well with the 2 airports on the bottom part of the slide, which are McAllen and the Valley. But just to note here on the far right, emplanements, they do have about double the emplanements we have. So they have doubled the passengers.
So this is a fee increase for Sunrise Beach RV Park. It is adjacent to the Wesley Seal Dam. CCW assumed operations of Sunrise Beach in 2009. The proposed fee increase, it's a 5-year plan. This is meant to recover all of the operating costs for Sunrise Beach. You can see there's a large increase in fiscal year 26 and then a modest increase as we move forward.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Drew Malley here. So the water rates proposed for this fiscal year were prepared by our rate consultant, Nugent, Andy McCartney.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, members of the City Executive Leadership Team. So for the fiscal year 2026 proposed water rates, wanted to highlight some of the significant changes. So there'll be a monthly minimum charges for the inside city customers are higher. So here are the inside city retail water monthly minimum charges. Again, these are differentiated from the outside because the outside does not benefit from any stormwater infrastructure. Therefore, they do not carry the burden of any of that stormwater legacy debt, unlike the inside city customers. And so you can see the increases there for the 5/8 inch and 3/4 inch meters. Next are the outside city retail monthly minimum charges for water. Again, you see slightly lower charges overall. Here are the volumetric rates, and these are the same for inside city or outside city. The residential, you'll see that the first 2,000 gallons is now going to be charged 75 cents. Earlier this year, we had discussed maybe proposing $1 for that. $1 was just too much of a burden, as well as the monthly minimum charge increases, so we backed off of that. The next block for residential goes from 2,001 gallons to 6,000. That's going to increase 12 cents. And then for 6,001 gallons to 15,000 gallons, that's going to increase $1.20 from $5.91 to $7.11. And each succeeding rate block increases as well. For commercial and other, again, 75 cents for the first 2,000 gallons, and then anything above and beyond 2,000 gallons is going to be charged $4.06. That's a 12-cent increase from the $3.94. Large volume customers for the first 10 million gallons, they pay a fixed amount or take or pay charge, and we're proposing that increases from $35,092.50 to $45,500. And the volumetric rate for usage in excess of 10 million gallons is increasing from $3.94 to $4.34. That's a 40-cent per 1,000 gallon increase. And finally, irrigation, they will pay the same for all gallons used, and we're proposing that is increased from $7.88 to $11.17. So some of the sample utility bill charges for the residential customer using an average consumption of 6,000 gallons per month. If they have a 5/8 inch meter, their monthly bill just for the water portion of the utility service will go from $37.29 to $42.07. That's an increase of $4.78. On the commercial customers, for a typical restaurant using 20,000 gallons of water, typically through a 2-inch water meter, their bill will increase from $216.56 to $236.18. That's a $19.62 increase. A large volume customer using 90 million gallons of water a month, typically through a 10-inch meter, would see their bill go from $438,167 to $501,488. That's a $63,321 a month increase. And finally, for wholesale treated water, customer using 50 million gallons of treated water, taking it straight from O.N. Stevens, would see their bill actually decrease from $163,875 to $158,892, just under a $5,000 a month decrease in that.
From the words that they just said, talking about the first 2,000 gallon, 75-cent increase, and they were talking about how it was going to be $1, and they determined that that would be too much of a burden. How is that determined? Like, if $1 is too much of a burden, then does 25 cents really make that much of a difference? And then considering that in context with the larger users outside city limits appealing their rate increase, and then it was also mentioned that for those outside city limits, for the stormwater debt that we currently have of $200+ million, because there's no benefit to them, that they don't have to pay. So that makes me think, if residents don't benefit and don't use the water, why do we have to face the increases? So.
I just want to refer back to one of the slides that the Next Gen folks showed us, looking at residential rates, and that those residents who use large quantities of water, their rates go up significantly. I don't think that that's a cost analysis. I think that that's really designed to be a deterrence to excessive water usage. I just think that that same standard should be applied toward large volume water users as well, that rather than being charged, I think the proposal is what, $4.34 or thereabouts per 1,000 gallons, should be much higher than that, in the same way that large residential users are charged at a larger rate as well. Thank you.
Customers, it's called a tap fee. What we're doing is we're updating that fee to accommodate for the cost of the increased meter sets and also the cost for increased labor.
Who is our resident expert in ambulance billing, and let him provide the update and answer any questions.
Which very closely matches what our current ordinance is. It just changes the actual percentage from Southern Region Consumer Price Index to ambulance inflation factor that is done for us. And this is what it would look like. Matter of fact, coincidentally, this year, calculating the escalation percentage for the Southern Region CPI for medical care is 2.4%. And these are our base charges and then our supplementary charges, and all those are subject to that annual fee escalation. And I know, just to answer some concerns that I know are out there for y'all and the public, these represent the cost. Our gross charges that we will charge. Each payer or insurance payer has amount that is allowable and that will charge. Medicare has theirs, commercial insurance have an average commercial rate, and they bring that gross charge down by mandatory adjustment.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. I am Robert Dodd, the Director of Parks and Recreation. So our fee adjustments are based on changes in the local market, inflation, increased cost of materials and personnel. And as we move forward, there's some marina changes include catamaran slip rentals, on-off trailers, and some electricity usage. In Parks and Recreation, fees and pool parties located at Bill Witt, some changes in our after-hour kid power, as well as some new fees at Oso Bay Wetlands and the amphitheater and classroom rental out there at that area. And that's, if there's any questions on these fee changes through Marina or Parks and Rec, I'm here to answer.
Robert, can you go back to the first page, please?
This is a perfect example of budgets being moral documents, and our council
Can you state your
centering,
name,
oh,
please?
Isabella Rice, District 2.
Thank you.
Our council centering industry before they center people. You are nickeling and diming working class people, and maybe it's just a couple of bucks, but you know that the minimum wage has not increased since 2009. Since 2009. And maybe the reason why there's only 6 people asking for a voucher is because they can't make it to the workforce to fill out the application, to be denied by them, to then ask for your money for the Parks and Recreation program. And it's not duplicating services when we have a Parks and Recreation program. We should be providing those services to our community at an affordable price. And if it's not affordable, use the Crime Control and Prevention District money, because guess what? The crime rates go up between 3 and 6 when kids get out of school and they don't have things to do. The gym back there is empty. That nonprofit is making a living off of those dues. Kids have to drive on a bus all the way down to Lindale Center to participate in a recreation program. When we were growing up, we walked across the street. In the summer, we got up in the mornings and we walked to the pool in the neighborhood.
Loud and boisterous.
And you're a POS. This is bullshit, ma'am. It's a big
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Yeah.